Hey there. Have you ever read a book, article, or other form of consumable media and thought, man, I wish I could examine this on a deeper level to better identify the creator's argument, purpose, and the implications of said argument and purpose on their audience? Well, you can, with a handy-dandy process known as rhetorical analysis. And it all begins with the rhetorical triangle. The triangle outlines the three cornerstones of anything saying anything. The argument, what the author is stating, the purpose, why the author is stating it, and the audience, who the author hopes to change or argue with. Some questions to consider while employing this device are, who wrote it? How is the argument presented? What is the style of the presentation? What is the context of the argument? All of these contribute to understanding the argument, purpose, and audience, which are further heightened or hindered by the author's development of the classical appeals. Ethos, the author's credibility and dependability. Logos, the logical, evidence-backed development of their argument. And pathos, how they appeal to an audience's emotions. Now, let's quit the lollygagging and put this to work on Stephen D. Levitt's Freakonomics!
In the fourth chapter of the book, Where Have All the Criminals Gone?, Levitt explores the unexpected drop in crime in American cities during the 1990s with the purpose of overturning conventional wisdom, arguing that the real reason behind this was abortion, as the 1973 Supreme Court case Roe v. Wade made abortion more accessible. As a result, pregnant women who were ill-prepared to support a child emotionally and/or financially were no longer having those children, who were the most likely demographic to commit crimes as adults. He further cites that earlier legislation in Romania banning abortion was followed by a steep increase in the volume of crime in the country. Levitt cements his credibility and finds common ground with his American audience through transparency in his motives, to erase a misconception that is altering American society's views on its most pressing issues. Having gained his audience's trust and made them more willing to understand his perspective, he goes on to state an argument based on irrefutable numbers, logic, and precedent. This all creates discomfort, which forces Americans to question the implications of the argument.
Whew. As if that wasn't enough, let's jump right into another analysis. This time, an up-close examination of Deborah Tannen's article, The Triumph of the Yell, written in the New York Times. Tannen argues that journalists, politicians, and academics far too often fight over who is right, rather than trying to find the truth. Her purpose in this being to restore the value of civil discourse and academic debate to further the progress of the human consciousness. Let's analyze this direct quote from the article. Truth is more likely to be found in the complex middle than in the simplified extremes, but the spectacles that result when extremes clash are thought to get higher ratings. Tannen asserts her credibility by heralding academic progression, a motive that benefits her audience. She creates an inartistic proof to logically explain her argument. Finally, her use of pointed vocabulary such as extremes and spectacles demonstrates her passion for the topic, eliciting a similar emotion in the audience who as a result can better understand and empathize with the argument. Well, kid, there you have it. You now possess all of the tools necessary to pick apart any argument you may ever come across. Rhetorical analysis.